Have you ever felt invisible? Not physically, but emotionally. Like you are present in the world, but nobody truly sees you. Have you ever stared at your silent phone and felt that the silence was louder than any noise around you? Sometimes life does not collapse in one dramatic moment. It collapses quietly inside a small room, inside a tired heart, inside a silent mind. And sometimes, that silent collapse is stopped by something very small, something as simple as a phone call. Tonight, I will tell you a story about a young man, a dark night, and a small call that changed everything. The city never sleeps. Its lights shine brightly, cars rush endlessly, and people move with purpose, as if everyone knows exactly where they are going. In that loud and busy city, on the third floor of an old building, there was a small rented room that nobody noticed. Inside that room lived Arman, a 26-year-old young man whose dreams were once bigger than the city skyline. 3 years ago, he arrived in this city with one suitcase, one laptop, and one promise to his mother. He had told her, "Amy, one day I will make you proud," and at that time, he truly believed it. But dreams often meet reality in unexpected ways, and reality is not always kind. Arman's room was small, with one bed, one broken chair, and a tiny table covered in unpaid bills. There were electricity reminders, rent notices, and bank messages waiting silently for him every day. His phone was full of emails, but none of them carried good news. Every subject line said the same thing, application status, and every message began with, "We regret to inform you." He would close those emails quickly because he already knew what they said before reading them fully. Each rejection felt like a small crack inside his confidence. At night, he would lie on his bed staring at the ceiling fan, asking himself where he had gone wrong. Sometimes he would remember his college days when life felt hopeful and bright. Back then, he was confident, full of ideas, and surrounded by friends who believed in him. Among those friends was Mira, a girl who once told him that he spoke like someone who would change the world. He smiled at that memory, but memories cannot pay rent or solve problems. Reality always pulled him back into that dim yellow room. One evening, his phone rang and it was his mother calling from their small hometown. He answered cheerfully and said, "Hello, Amy," even though his heart felt heavy. She asked him gently if he was eating properly and if everything was going well. He lied and told her that everything was fine because he did not want her to worry. Before ending the call, she said softly, "I pray for you every night," and those words stayed with him. After the call, he looked at the ceiling and whispered, "I am trying, Amy. I am really trying." That night, the rain was heavier than usual and the electricity suddenly went out. The room became completely dark, and lightning flashed through the window for a few seconds at a time. Arman sat on the floor with his back against the wall, listening to the rain and his own thoughts. He asked himself painful questions like, what if I am not good enough? And what if I wasted my years? He opened social media and saw everyone smiling, celebrating promotions, engagements, and success stories. With every scroll, he felt smaller and more invisible. For the first time, a dangerous thought entered his mind and he wondered what would happen if he simply stopped trying. At that exact moment, his phone vibrated on the table beside him. It was an unknown number, and at first, he ignored it. The phone rang again, and something inside him told him to answer it. He picked up and said softly, "Hello," not expecting anything important. A gentle voice responded, "Arman," and he immediately recognized
I
it.
miss you so much.
It was Mira,
miss you too.
calling
It's
after
so
years
hard.
of silence,
We'll get through this.
saying she had found his old number and wanted to check on him. They started talking awkwardly at first, but slowly the conversation became comfortable. She noticed the sadness in his voice and told him he did not sound like the confident Arman she once knew. Then she reminded him of the time she failed her exams and how he encouraged her by saying that one bad chapter does not define the whole story. She gently said, "Arman, maybe this is just your bad chapter, not your whole book." Her words touched something deep inside him that had been silent for a long time. Before ending the call, she simply said, "I do not know why, but I felt like calling you today, and I just want you to not give up." After the call ended, the room was still dark and the rain was still falling, but something inside him had changed. For the first time in months, he felt a small spark of hope. The next morning, sunlight entered his room, and he cleaned everything as if he was cleaning his mind as well. He updated his resume, applied again, and this time he did it with belief instead of fear. A few days later, he received an interview call from a small company, not his dream job, but a new beginning. When they finally called to say, "Congratulations, you are selected," tears filled his eyes, but they were tears of relief.
I'm so proud of you.
Months later, sitting in a cafe, he called Mera and said, "That small call saved me, because sometimes the smallest action creates the biggest miracle. You never know what battle someone is fighting quietly. Maybe someone near you is sitting in darkness right now. Maybe they do not need money. Maybe they do not need advice. Maybe they just need a small call. That call." If this story touched your heart, like this video and share it with someone who needs hope. And subscribe to Logic and Lab for more emotional stories. Because sometimes the smallest action creates the biggest miracle.